Multi-vector integration is Kazakhstan's chosen course of development. In the program, single market. Business is the driving engine of the train that is called the economy, and its speed, just like with any mechanism, depends on a lot of factors. Hello, my name is Pavel Koktishev. In today's program, the rules of the game. It is business of those who are drowning to save themselves, Eurasian entrepreneurs. The school of the market, a strategy for success in a competitive environment, the experience of Kazakhstani enterprise. Navigator, it's not yet the heyday for the market of non-ferrous metals. And coming right up, the investment climate in Kazakhstan forecast looks favorable. Money likes silence. Big money likes big silence. In my opinion, this expression accurately describes the idea of today's trends. Big money is nothing other than foreign investments, and the word silence encompasses the basic conditions for attracting them: calm environment, comfort, stability, and security. And so the investment climate in Kazakhstan is improving, and this is mostly thanks to the new stimulus package for investors. A successful start to future investment activity has been given by the 15-day visa-free regime for countries, the businesses of which have been quite active in Kazakhstan. The stimulus package can be divided into three groups. The first is intended for investors who are engaged in one of the priority types of business activity. It entails relief from tariffs on import of equipment, raw materials, as well as land grants. For example, for land property that is managed by the state. The second package includes preferences for investors of large priority projects, the amounts of which are no less than $20 million. They're relieved from property taxes. In addition, investors have the right to employ foreign labor force for a specified period, until production is launched, plus 1 year after. Within the framework of the third stimulus package, the government compensates 30% of the expenses of the investor. By the way, one can use the benefits of all three types of stimulus packages simultaneously, under the condition that all the requirements of the law on investments are complied with. The prospects for investors are laid out in the new program document, 100 Steps. Attention of some foreign businesses has already been drawn by some of its points. This is attraction of anchor investments into priority spheres of the economy. And to summarize, looking at the assessments of international rating agencies, the business climate in Kazakhstan promises a favorable environment to all potential investors.
В качестве резюме, судя по оценкам мировых рейтинговых агентств, бизнес-климат в Казахстане обещает благоприятную атмосферу всем потенциальным инвесторам. В прошлом году товарооборот между Евразийской тройкой Россией, Белоруссией и Казахстаном.
The total trade turnover between the countries of the customs union last year amounted to $57.4 billion. In comparison with 2013, trade between the trio of Kazakhstan, Russia, and Belarus decreased by $6.9 billion. This year, already 5 countries are part of the Eurasian Integration Association. Within the Eurasian Economic Union, the devaluation of the Russian ruble and the consequent fall in the prices of Russia's products had a negative impact on trade turnover. Regarding the export-import correlation, out of the 3 countries that laid the foundation of the economic union, Russia ended up in the most advantageous position. Economists call it the beggar-thy-neighbor phenomenon, a sudden weakening of the economy resulting in a competitive advantage. And without a doubt, we see today a very strong inflow of products from Russia. In this situation, the other members of the Integration Association can only hope, on the one hand, for inflation targeting, and on the other, that the situation will not arise in the future, because integration partners will inform each other ahead of time about planned adjustment of the currency rate. There need to be preparatory measures, countermeasures, because otherwise this, of course, leads to unpredictable consequences. Aside from problems related to imbalance in currency values, direct and indirect barriers have been impeding normal trade turnover between the Eurasian integration countries. They're initiated at a local level by official authorities and supervisory bodies, which monitor the entrance of goods onto the markets of their respective countries. But this is all about to change. This year, 2 independent bodies were established under the auspices of the Eurasian Economic Commission. The first is a working group on assessing the impact of regulatory activities. Its role is to monitor the regulatory and legislative acts of the EEU. The second new body is a business council. It consists of representatives of national business associations of the 5 member countries. Among the first issues of the day, by means of monitoring measures, to find out what is exactly impeding the activities of small and medium businesses on the Eurasian Economic Union market. So that it first of all analyzes the barriers in each sector for each line of products, because businesses should have a clear idea of where to invest their money, when the results will be seen, and most importantly, how to sell. By the way, both of these new structures, body responsible for assessment of the regulatory impact and business council, are initiatives of Kazakhstan's National Chamber of Entrepreneurs, which prefers to implement a systematic and constructive approach in its strategy. For example, simultaneously with the adjustment to the effective work of the business council, the National Chamber is also proposing to its partners to show greater activity on regional levels, especially neighboring ones. Each regional chamber is independent in deciding on these issues. Let's say that the North Kazakhstan region, the Pavlodar region, with the near-located Russian regions, is in close cooperation with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Omsk region, Orenburg region. In order to help entrepreneurs gain access to neighboring markets, the National Chamber has developed export roadmaps for some of its entrepreneurs. If some entrepreneur from, let's say, the East Kazakhstan region wants to enter the Russian market, then taking into account the nature of their production and product line, a step-by-step plan is elaborated, a roadmap for getting their products on the Russian market. There are a lot of difficulties and challenges that are not allowing the integration mechanism to work to its full capacity. Temporary pauses, these are the costs of the transition period. The first fruits of this integration have yet to be born, so that there is a single market labor, so that qualified specialists could find interesting projects to engage in. And for this, it is necessary to look for partners. They are more familiar with their own market, its specifics and needs. The search for such partners is one of the main conditions of a healthy competition. Nadezhda Gordiyeva, Anatoly Valyuski, exclusively for single market. Black metals are called the mill of the economy, and for non-ferrous metals a more poetic allegory is used, the elite, blue blood of metallurgy. But despite the high epithets, it must be admitted that currently these are not the best of times for non-ferrous metals of Kazakhstan. Alexander Galiev brings us the details.
The
price of copper, the king of non-ferrous metals, having been following a constant negative trajectory, has settled at the lowest point of the last couple of years, around $5,800 per ton. In the last 5 years, the fall was almost 10%. Other non-ferrous metals are also showing a negative dynamic. Since 2010, zinc lost more than 10% of its value and is now quoted at the price of $2,000 per ton. Price of aluminum dropped even more, 13%. Its market value fell to $1,700 per ton. According to experts, a number of factors are causing this negative pressure on non-ferrous metals. The main one is the fall in demand on the markets of Russia and China, which are key for Kazakhstani exports. In the case of Russia, an additional factor was the devaluation of the Russian ruble, and China had to face a slowdown of its economy. Shipments of refined copper and unprocessed alloys from it to China decreased last year by 22%, and Kazakhstan lost almost $430 million. Under these conditions, nation's metallurgy enterprises of Kazakhstan are taking logical steps, lowering cost and optimizing expenses. For example, labor productivity at mining and metallurgy enterprises increased by 19%. One of the flag bearers of the national non-ferrous metallurgy industry, the Kazakh Mus Corporation, as a set of response measures to the unfavorable environment, announced the closing down of non-profitable enterprises. Workers were sent to courses to upgrade their qualifications and will later on be involved in the prospective Bashagol and Aktogay projects. Government officials of Kazakhstan understand the risks of the global drop in demand for non-ferrous metals and are proposing to companies to diversify their exports. The aim is to lower dependence on dynamics of the markets of China and Russia. And to summarize, all crises pass, and that means that in the future the demand for non-ferrous metals will grow again. My name is Alexander Galiev. Until next time on Single Market. The annual turnover of this enterprise is 3.5 billion tenge. Out of this amount, last year 531 million were spent on covering taxes. Overall, during its 22 years of operation, the Almaty plant of heavy machine building has contributed 5 billion tenge to the government budget. Of course, within the framework of the Eurasian economic integration, in the conditions of tough competition, it has not been easy for this company to survive. But when internal reserves for conquering the market are found, then soon enough there will be results.
Машиностроительный завод «Келет» находится в южном мегаполисе
Large machine
Казахстана,
building
в
plant
Алматы.
Kilet is located in the southern city of Kazakhstan, Almaty. Here, everything that is necessary for water supply, ventilation, and heating is produced and sold. We produce 6,000 boilers, electric from 6 to 1,000 kilowatts. We also produce cantilever pumps up to 4,000 sets per year and around 6,000 hydro-fresh stations. Equipment and components are delivered here from 2,200 Kazakhstani enterprises and 100 foreign companies. Yet the share of local content in the electric boilers is 78%, pumps 45 to 80%. The production units of this company are located on an area of more than 1 hectare. These are assembly and paint shops, administrative buildings, and large storage warehouses. Such a developed infrastructure is necessary for continuous production, from the draft project to customer service. The main condition for the production of competitive products is high-tech equipment. This machine for laser cutting of metal costs $1.5 million US, but it is worth it. Thanks to this machine, the quality of the products has significantly improved and labor productivity has increased by multiple times.
Итальянские автоматические сварочные машины,
We want to get Italian automatic welding machines so that whilst improving productivity, we can make receivers, hydro-fresh containers, in order to improve the local content in our products. The geography of the plant's consumer market is constantly expanding. Among its clients are power stations, water channels, large metallurgic, petrochemical and mining plants. Products are shipped to Russia, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. In the future, there are plans to enter the markets of East European countries, Hungary and Serbia. That is why the plant is already preparing for this right now. We're planning to build a service center with 3 floors on an area of 800 square meters and another warehouse on a territory of 3,500 square meters. There will be an automated warehouse with printing of the destination address of the cargo. Today, labor productivity at this enterprise is one of the best in Kazakhstan. It reaches 12.2 million tenge per person, which is $26,000 US. But this is not the limit for the plant. It plans to reach a level of related European enterprise Pedrolo, which is located in Italy. Oleg Boldarev, Almaty, exclusively for Single Market. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our programs are available online on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time, on Single Market, a territory without borders.